Almost all rain by the overnight hours heading into Sunday morning for the coal fields, but we still have some snow going for the east, for the mountains, with all that colder air locked in. We're looping this out over the last half hour or so, and we can see it produced a little bit of lightning and a little bit of a heavy downpour when it was in Raleigh County, but as it starts to enter Fayette County around the Mount Hope area, looking like it's kind of raining itself out, and we might just see light sprinkles. 72 in Beckley, 76 in Princeton. Over in the areas out in the coal fields that haven't seen as much rain, still in the upper 80s, so quite a scorcher for our friends out in McDowell and Wyoming counties. Regina, even though we saw a little bit of a cool down through the last week, the weekend we're back in the 80s. Is that okay with you?
That's so okay with me.
Good.
Do you see how I need to work on this tan?
You don't need to work
yeah,
on the tan.
I do.
I need to work on the tan. No. Well, regardless if you need the tan or not, we're going to be having plenty of sunshine.
I don't want summer to end, but
I think as far as the West Virginia impact for the storm, most of us are in the clear. If you do have friends and family down in the Covington area still watching for that strong storm, we're going to stay in those upper 60s, and that'll set up for a very warm day ahead. Again, we're calling for upper 80s in the next couple days. The coal fields easily making it into the 90s. Yesterday and today were the first 2 days that we've seen below average temperatures all month long, so I don't think that too many people, including myself, really even minded those cooler temperatures for today. And therefore, when this warmer air with the warm front moves up and over this colder air mass, we start to see a little bit of mixing, and we could see a good bit of snow with that colder air locked in place, as well as freezing rain and sleet before transitioning into all rain. Barely made it to that 65-degree mark. You do the quick math, and that's 14 degrees below our normal for this time of year. So definitely feeling very cool. Almost felt like we were in the middle of October. It's been extremely warm all month long. It's been catching a lot of my friends off guard. They haven't been wearing sunblock, and they look like a lobster before you know it. So
I'm one of those people.
Don't be like them.
Don't.
Wear your sunblock.
I'm gonna go buy some.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure to wear.
High pressure is slowly building in from the west, so we're going to be quiet across the entire region for a while. We just had a few rain showers and storms up north of us, the West Virginia Panhandle, as well as parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and even into Maryland. Close to about 5 to 10 degrees below our normal for this time of year. So we did see plenty of sunshine, but we stayed comfortable with temperatures in those low to mid 70s. We're continuing to push this front further to the south, and that's what's going to help us continue to clear up those clouds as we work drier air in overnight and even into our Sunday.
Taking a look at the week, Monday, a little rainy. It's just how Monday's supposed to be. Tuesday, a little cold, and then we heat things up as the week heats up.
Exactly. If you're going to have rain on one day, make it Monday. Everyone's already in a horrible mood.
Right. All right. Thanks, Zach.
That frontal boundary slowly beginning to exit the area, and high pressure eventually creeping in from the north, but it'll take a few days to get there. So next couple days, expect some more afternoon thunderstorms and showers. Not looking at a whole lot of severe weather, but like today, we could see 1 or 2 stronger storms. Showers will eventually taper off, and we might have a lingering shower at most heading into Monday. Aside from that, just a few flurries for the mountains as colder air wraps around this low pressure system. Even though we steered clear of the rain today around the area, we might have just enough instability for a few showers, especially come the afternoon and early evening tomorrow.
Though it was a little bit on the chillier side, short sleeves or long sleeves at least, if you were able to kind of break out the shorts, you know, it's still pretty good.
And the sunshine just made it feel so comfortable. That's the big thing, is always getting the sun, getting that vitamin D.
Yeah.
By the time we're getting to Wednesday, it looks like a cold front will start to approach the area, just a few degrees lower, but then finally on Thursday, Friday, heading to next weekend, we're a little bit closer to our normal temperatures. 65 is the low tonight, so we are warm but quiet. Here's your 10-day forecast. Temperatures staying close to that 80-degree mark, but a little bit more humidity and a little bit more rain shower activity Tuesday and Wednesday. 50s by Wednesday. Thursday and Friday in the 60s. We're expecting dry weather on these days as well, so it's looking pretty nice to get out there and enjoy some nice warm spring temperatures. The humidity does return, so we'll feel a little bit more uncomfortable over the weekend, though mostly dry. We'll look for those rain chances to return as we get into the middle of next week.
Now, with the area's most accurate forecast, Storm Tracker 59.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Zach Guion. We had nice toasty conditions on our Tuesday, and we keep a lot of the warm temperatures around even into Wednesday. Unfortunately, I know a lot of the pools closed over the past few days ago because of Labor Day, but hopefully we can have some sort of heat relief today because highs expected in the mid 80s. Not feeling a whole lot like September, but over the next couple of days, we are going to see improvements in the temperature department. By Thursday, Friday, a cold front looks to swing through and bring in some cooler air behind it. Our high temperatures down to the mid-70s on both days. Even that's below normal for this time of year. Our average temperature is 77 degrees. We're a little bit closer to being back close to normal on Saturday, and then even above normal as we get to the tail end of the weekend into next work week. So we'll really have to take advantage of these couple of cooler days, because our long-range pattern definitely favors even more warm conditions, as we just can't seem to escape the summertime pattern. Our one saving grace is this cold front that's going to come through later in the day, but for the first half of the day, it looks like we'll stay pretty dry with high pressure overhead, sunny skies, and warm conditions, warm air ahead of this front. The cooler air will come behind the front. Not a whole lot of rain is going to be associated with it, though. We could see a shower or two across the area, but again, I think that the cooler and drier air is the big story that we're all looking for. Today, though, we are staying warm. Temperatures near the 84-degree mark for Beckley, with a chance for a shower late, and then those winds will start to shift out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour as that cool air starts to work its way in. Alongside a little bit of that rain and the cooler temperatures coming through, our pollen levels are dropping ever so slightly back down to medium as we get into Thursday, before returning to those higher levels by Friday into the weekend, as we see even more warm and dry conditions. Taking a look at the tropics, once again, we are still watching Category 2 Hurricane Dorian. It finally started to track farther up to the north after stalling out over Grand Bahama Island over the past couple days or so. So good news for our friends down there. They're finally starting to see a little bit of relief from Dorian, but friends and folks along the southeast coast starting to see more of those impacts. And despite the fact that Dorian is weaker now as a Category 2 and isn't expected to make landfall anytime soon, they're still seeing all the impacts that you would normally see from a hurricane of this size. They're seeing the storm surge, the stronger winds, the heavy rainfall as the storm parallels along the coast. Once it tracks further up to North Carolina, it is forecast to decrease in intensity and become a Category 1 storm, but still not out of the question that it could make landfall at some point by later in its life cycle. Regardless if it does or not, they're still going to see a good bit of that storm activity by later in the week before the storm heads back out to sea. Not seeing any impact from Dorian here at home. What we really have to just deal with is a few showers tonight with this cold front. Most spots are staying dry, and then we get the cooler air working in behind that front, and we look to be nice and dry for Thursday and even into Friday with those cooler temperatures around. Mid-70s is what we can look forward to over the next couple days, but our long-range pattern does favor much warmer conditions, much more heat, so we're back up into the upper 70s and low 80s by the time we get into the weekend and get into next work weekend. We keep the rain chances pretty low over the next few days as well.
Yeah, we're hanging on to summer. Zach, thank you.